Before the video starts, I have a big surprise for you all, which I will reveal in the middle of the video. From Cannibal Farm is a British horror film directed by Charlie Steeds. This film revolves around the Harver family, who find themselves fighting for their lives against a family of cannibals in the isolated English countryside. The movie blends elements of psychological horror, gore, and survival, while also exploring themes of family dysfunction, trauma, and desperation. The movie's intense atmosphere, along with its brutal violence, captures a mix of classic slasher films with a rural horror aesthetic similar to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The movie starts with the Harver family on their way to what they believe will be a relaxing camping trip in the countryside. Tensions within the family are evident from the beginning. This trip isn't just about a holiday, but an attempt to mend fractured relationships. Characters introduced: Wes Harver, the father, a man who seems disconnected from his family, particularly his wife. Catherine Harver, Wes's wife, emotionally strained and dealing with years of marital issues. Jessica Harver, their teenage daughter, who is rebellious and frustrated with her parents' constant bickering. Toby Harver, the younger son who mostly stays out of family arguments, keeping to himself. Sam Michelson, Jessica's boyfriend, who is tagging along on the trip, adding another layer of tension. The family dynamic immediately reveals itself as broken. Wes and Catherine's strained marriage sets the tone for much of the character tension. As they argue in the car, Jessica complains about the idea of a family vacation in the middle of nowhere, and Toby remains absorbed in his own world, barely engaging with anyone. The first half hour of the film focuses on the family's dysfunction, allowing the audience to get a sense of the personal demons each character is facing. The peaceful setting contrasts with the escalating personal conflict the Harvers between Mutt. After a few relatively uneventful hours, the family's van suddenly breaks down on a deserted road, miles from any civilization. At first, it seems like a mechanical issue, but as they investigate, they find the van has been intentionally tampered with. Wires cut. This is the first ominous hint that something far darker awaits them. Stranded without cell service or any form of communication, the family debates their next steps. Wes takes charge, insisting they search for help. They wander through the countryside and eventually come across a secluded farmhouse that appears run down and deserted. As they approach the farm, they meet the property's owner, Hunt Hansen, a gruff, unsettling man who offers to help them. However, there's something deeply disturbing about his demeanor. His farm is filthy, and the air around the place feels thick with dread. The audience is given subtle hints through the cinematography, shots of animal carcasses, rusty equipment, and unsettling sound effects, that something is wrong here. Hansen initially seems reluctant, but eventually agrees to let the family stay in his barn for the night while he tries to fix their vehicle in the morning. Although suspicious, the Harvers have no other options. As night falls, their unease grows, particularly when they hear strange noises from the nearby woods and see shadows moving around the farm. The isolation and tension are palpable, and it's clear the Harver family is being watched. In the morning, things take a turn for the worse. Jessica wanders off from the group, exploring the farm out of boredom, and stumbles across something horrific. She finds a hidden area on the property where human remains are being processed. Bones, body parts, and chunks of flesh, all arranged like a grotesque butcher shop. Panicked, she rushes back to her family. But before they can react, the Hansen family reveals their true nature. Hunt Hansen is not just a farmer, he leads a cannibalistic clan that has been hunting and consuming human beings for generations. The farm is a front for their horrific trade in human meat, and now the Harvers are their next victims. The family is captured by the Hansens, dragged into a dank cellar beneath the barn, and imprisoned alongside other captives. These poor souls have been held captive for months, waiting their turn to be butchered. Now imprisoned, the Harvers are forced to confront their impending doom. Desperation sets in as they try to figure out a way to escape. Their fellow captives warn them that there is no hope. No one ever escapes the Hansen farm. The tension among the Harvers continues to escalate. Old family wounds are reopened, particularly between Wes and Catherine, whose marriage has been unraveling for years. Jessica blames her father for bringing them on this ill-fated trip, while Toby becomes increasingly withdrawn, traumatized by the horrors around him. Amidst this, the Harvers meet Grace, one of the captives who has been imprisoned for several months. Grace becomes an important character in this part of the film, helping the family plan an escape attempt and giving them hope that survival is still possible. The next act focuses on the Harver family's harrowing attempt to escape. Grace leads them through the cellar, showing them a hidden passage that might lead to freedom. However, as they make their way through the farm, the Hansons become aware of their escape and begin hunting them down. Now it's time for the surprise. We will be gifting 10 USDT to 10 of our first 1,000 subscribers. So make sure to subscribe and then let us know in the comments. The film becomes a violent, tense game of cat and mouse. The Harvers are chased through the farm, facing deadly traps, vicious attacks, and brutal confrontations with the cannibalistic family members. In one particularly horrifying scene, Sam is captured and brutally killed by the Hansons, his body prepared for slaughter as the rest of the family watches helplessly. As the number of surviving family members dwindles, the movie's gore and violence reach their peak. Each death is graphic and terrifying, keeping the audience on edge as they wonder who will survive. The movie culminates in a final showdown between the remaining Harvers and Hunt Hanson. Catherine, who had seemed fragile throughout the film, takes charge in a desperate bid to save her family. She confronts Hunt Hanson in a violent, bloody struggle that showcases her strength and determination. In the end, the surviving Harvers manage to kill Hunt Hanson and escape the farm. But the cost has been high. Wes and Jessica are the only two left, and their ordeal has left them physically and emotionally scarred. The ending of Escape from Cannibal Farm is bleak. The surviving family members are free, but they are forever changed by their experiences. The film closes with a haunting reminder that survival often comes at a great personal cost. This movie explores themes of survival, the breakdown of family, and the lengths to which humans will go when pushed to the brink. The cannibalistic Hansons represent the ultimate embodiment of human savagery, and the Harvers' fight for survival is a metaphor for their own internal struggles as a family. Escape from Cannibal Farm is not for the faint of heart. It's a brutal, gory exploration of human nature, and while the plot might feel familiar to fans of the horror genre, the film's intensity and shocking moments set it apart. With strong performances from the cast and a relentless pace, the movie delivers a visceral, heart-pounding experience that leaves viewers questioning what they would do in the same situation.